Hey everyone, and welcome back to a brand new video on the channel, and something different as well. This is something I haven't touched before, and it's something that I'm really interested in doing. So if you like what this video has been and you want to see more of these types of videos, hit the like button. And if you have any stories or mysteries that you would like me to touch up on, drop them down in the comments. I'll do my research, and if I like what I read, I'll do a video on them. So, on that note, let's get to it, and let's take a look at our first strange story. So, on the afternoon of November 24th, 1971, a nondescript man calling himself Dan Cooper approached the counter of Northwest Orient Airlines in Portland, Oregon. Now, this is the story of DB Cooper and what supposedly he had done. Now, just to clarify, a lot of people, especially in America, probably know the story of DB Cooper and what he had done to the police and to the airline. But if you haven't already, I'll be giving you the backstory, and we'll look further into this. And I've also got some images that I've managed to find as well. So, he used cash to buy a one-way ticket on flight number 305, which was bound for Seattle, Washington. And this begun one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in FBI history. So Cooper was a quiet man who appeared to be in his mid-40s, wearing a business suit with a black tie and a white shirt. Now, this is the supposed sketch artist's description of what he was given by staff on the airline, on the plane, and passengers who happened to be on the plane at the same time. So this is what DB Cooper apparently looked like. Now, to me, there's no distinguishing features. There's no marks on his face or anything. He looks like a normal middle-aged man in my case, especially for in the 70s. Now, when he was on board, he ordered a drink, which was a bourbon and soda, while the flight was waiting to take off. A short time after 3 p.m, he handed the stewardess a note indicating that he had a bomb in his briefcase and wanted her to sit with him. Now, the stunned stewardess did exactly what she was told. Opening a cheap Apache case, Cooper showed her a glimpse of a mass of wires and red-coloured sticks and demanded that she write down what he told her. Soon, she was walking with a new note to the captain of the plane that demanded 4 parachutes and $200,000 in $20 bills. Now, that would be roughly estimated to probably about £1 million in today's money. So, that's back in the 70s, that was a lot of money. And here is a image of the supposed tie that he was wearing that he took off before abandoning the plane, which we'll find out later on. And this is a image of the $20 bills that he was inevitably handed to him. Now, soon, so obviously, flight attendant has been given a note to give to the pilot of basically his demands of what he wanted to do with what he wanted the pilot to organise for him while he held the plane hostage, so to speak. Now, the pilot obviously contacted flight control, and they obviously inevitably called the police and the FBI and ended up kind of meeting his demands. Now, the flight ended up landing in its destination of Seattle. Cooper then exchanged the flight's 36 passengers for the money and the parachutes that he had asked for, and he kept several crew members on board, and the plane took off again, and he ordered it to be set for Mexico City. Now, the course that he asked the pilot to take was along the coastline from Seattle down to Mexico City. And somewhere between Seattle and Reno, a little after 8 p.m, the hijacker did the incredible. He jumped out of the back of the plane with a parachute and the ransom money. The pilots landed safely, but Cooper had disappeared into the night, and his ultimate fate remains a mystery to this day. Now, it's unsure of how he knew to get out of the plane without more or less anybody knowing. Did he have inside information on that specific plane, like that model of plane that was being used for that flight? And was there another person on board of one of the flight crew members that was helping Cooper? No one knows to this day, and Cooper is... we don't know whatever happened to Cooper. He may have, considering that he jumped between Seattle and Reno and he did it along the coastline, did he inevitably parachute into the ocean and, did he meet his fate in the ocean, or did he successfully land along with the money and made off into the night for no one to ever see him again? Now, the FBI learned of the crime in flight and immediately opened an extensive investigation that lasted many years, calling it NORJAC for Northwest Hijacking. They interviewed hundreds of people, tracked leads across the nation, and scoured the aircraft for evidence. By the 5-year anniversary of the hijacking, they considered more than 800 suspects and eliminated all but 24 from consideration. So the amount of, honestly, because of that description that was given to the sketch artists, like I said at the start, he looked like a normal white middle-aged man. A lot of people in the 70s did wear business suits, because it was the in thing and a lot of jobs required suits. I have some more images here of the parachute bag and the parachute themselves. So this was one of the parachute bags that was given to Cooper. He asked for 4 chutes. He jumped with 2, including one that was used for instruction and had been sewn shut. So one bag had been completely sewn shut, and he used the cord from one of the remaining chutes to tie the stolen money bag shut. So did he ask for one of the bags to be sewn shut so he could put the money in there, and then he tied it shut? We don't know. And then the other image here is, which was one of the unused parachutes that Cooper had requested. So obviously they're not the standard typical modern day chutes. This looks very like nylon-y type material. It was very plasticky, like there's sheen on it in the pictures, and the cord is very it's not exactly standard parachute material now from what we have now. And one person on their list, a Richard Floyd McCoy, is still a favourite suspect among many. So they still obviously have a list of suspects on who Cooper possibly could have been. They tracked down and arrested McCoy for a similar airplane hijacking and escape by parachute less than 5 months after Cooper's flight. So I don't think if McCoy was Cooper, I don't think he would have been I don't think he would have been the type of criminal to use the same technique in a hijacking than he had done 5 months before. He would have changed it up a little bit so there wouldn't have been a concurrent thing. But then a lot of a lot of like a analyst, criminal analyst, behavior expert probably would have seen this as a recurring pattern. A lot of time there are recurring patterns in crimes like this. But McCoy was later ruled out because he didn't match the nearly identical physical description as Cooper provided by the two flight attendants, and for other reasons. Now, we don't know the other reasons of why he wasn't then considered a suspect. And McCoy also didn't look like the photo I showed at the start of a white middle-aged man. This here. So McCoy didn't match the description and the sketch of what was given. Perhaps Cooper didn't survive his jump from the plane. After all, the parachute he used couldn't be steered. So it was a parachute that more or less you had to use just to like a normal standard parachute that you couldn't control like you can with modern day parachutes, and a lot of chutes back then you could control as well. And his clothing and footwear weren't suitable for a rough landing. So he obviously wearing a business suit, so he's obviously wearing smart shoes as well to go with what he was wearing. So a rough landing amongst rocks or the sea, for instance, wouldn't have helped him in his escape at all. And he had jumped into a wooded area at night, a dangerous proposition for a seasoned pro. So even a pro wouldn't have made that jump that he did. Which evidence suggests that Cooper was not a pro. I think they're called paragliders or a pro parachuter, someone who actively goes on parachute jumps. The theory was given an added boost in 1980 when a young boy found a rotten package full of $20 bills that consisted of $5,800. So almost, more or less, a quarter of the money that he had asked for was then found in a package that obviously the weather and the elements had got to. Hence why it was rotting. And they matched the ransom money serial numbers. So obviously all money are printed with serial numbers, and the numbers that were found on these notes were a match. Where did the DB come from? This was apparently a myth created by the press at the time. They did question a man with the initials DB, but he obviously wasn't the hijacker, so it could have been another thing with McCoy where none of the evidence pointed towards him, and that none of the physical descriptions and the sketch matched him as well. The daring hijack and disappearance remain an intriguing mystery for law enforcement and amateur sleuths alike. So people are constantly still looking into what happened with DB Cooper. So that concludes our first strange story / mystery for today. Like I said at the start, if you want to see more of these and you liked this video, hit the like button and I will be sure to do more. And if you have any stories you want me to do a video on, or you at least want me to look into to see if they're worthy of being a video, leave them down below in the comments. I'll look them up, I'll see if they're good enough for a video. But 9 times out of 10, I will probably want to do a video on them because I love mysteries and stories just like the DB Cooper one. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. Have a good day. Peace.